These are the directions for Distance Learning Module 6, Day 4. That's Thursday, May 14th. So yesterday, I had students dive a little bit deeper into feedback mechanisms. So once you understood that there were these levels of organization, and primarily the reason for that is so that you understand that cells don't just operate by themselves, that they do, but they actually operate collectively as tissues, and these tissues collectively come together to form organs, and that the organs in your body can collectively form different systems. And then those systems can communicate with one another through these feedback loops to keep the body in what we call equilibrium, balance, or in biology, often used homeostasis. So today I'm going to have you dig a little bit deeper into feedback loops. And there should be another video in here that I don't see. Oh, I'm sorry, this is yesterday's. I apologize. So I had you dig a little bit deeper into feedback loops, and I had you look at a Bozeman science. And this particular Bozeman science does a really good job of identifying the difference between what a positive and negative feedback loop is. It also goes into giving you some examples. And then in the video that you'll see today, it'll identify the 3 criteria that really make up a feedback loop, which is that there's a stimulus of some sort, there's a response of some sort, and then in the middle there's usually, well, there has to be some organ or system that computes all of that information, receiving the stimulus, and then of course sending out the response. And that video will sort of piggyback off of this one from today. Yesterday, I then had you turn in an Edpuzzle on this feedback loop, which is what I just showed you. So now for today, we're going to look at the applications of feedback loops. We're really going to look at some examples of feedback loops, and this would be a good time for you to come to a live session, which I will have today. There's the information for you, the links, of course, as usual. Reviews, reference the textbook if you want. We don't have chapter 35 photocopied. But it is only one section of the chapter, and it's actually quite sporadic in terms of the content. So view the Bozeman science on the elements of feedback loops. I strongly encourage you to do that. I was going to make an Edpuzzle for this as an incentive. There is no activity associated with this video, but the video is essential, absolutely essential for the majority of the POGIL that you're going to be doing. So you might as well watch that first and then go right to the POGIL. And I think the transition will be much easier than just trying to tackle the POGIL on its own. Obviously, once you're done with the video, complete the POGIL. Only questions 1 through 19. So make sure you do complete choices A, B, and C. I'll show you what those look like. And so it goes through 19. I'm going to have you answer these questions, and there'll be separate text entries. I'll also have you answering these questions as examples. These are, now you have illustrations to support the examples I've been using all along, which was the thermal regulation, how your body maintains a body temperature. And then, of course, the other was childbirth, all the questions in between. Make sure you know, not every single one, but I certainly have chosen 19 of these because it is out of 19 points. And here you have, and just remember, this doesn't mean all 19 questions. You get this questions in 3 parts here. So this is 3 separate questions. But in this case, I do actually ask for what type of feedback loop. I don't necessarily go into the stimulus and response. I think we've done enough of that on the previous questions, but I do ask if this is a positive or negative feedback loop, if choice B is a positive or negative feedback loop, and if choice C, or example scenario C, is a positive or negative feedback loop. All 3 of these feedback loops I have been using as examples all along as we've been going through the unit to try to front load the information. So once you do that, that's pretty much most of what you have for today. It may take you a little bit of time. Please certainly reach out to me if you have any questions. And of course, live session for today would be totally beneficial. I just want to remind you that for tomorrow, we will have a unit assessment. The unit assessment is valued at 43 points. So, like I said before, if you take into consideration the daily evidence, this is not something that is enormous. It is, of course, a lot of points, but if you take all of the days of the evidence that you're supplying, you'll see that it's very small relative to all the points you will have accumulated over the 12 weeks. It does go through questions that you've seen. So my advice would be to look at your old Edulastics from this unit. Please reach out to me and let me know if any of those do not show you the answers. I try to go through. I use the platform a lot, and because I use it a lot, I sometimes lose track of which assignments I've released to the students, because I try to balance between timeliness and getting the feedback back to you, as well as offering students some flexibility in the time that they can turn things in, but also at the same time maintaining the integrity of the assignment so as not to release the answers when several students have not completed the work. I think that's unfair to those students that have done their work in a timely manner and have managed their time pretty good. So that's why there's sometimes a delay in the time that you take an Edulastic and the time at which you can see the responses. But because of that, I do miss a few, and if you could remind me, that would be great. I wish everybody a great day. It looks like it's going to be nice out. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and please come to a live session. Thank you.